What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Coffee Joe, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the album AJ Tracey Die Or You Dead. Now, it was cleverly marketed. There was a lot of singles and promotions, and I've really been looking forward to it. He's been teasing the album since Flu Game. He's going to be like, there's been pictures of him and photos of him in the studio, so let's get this on the road. Now, Out of Sight is the first one. Now, although I think it's a good intro, it's not my favourite song from AJ Tracey. However, I think it was a good intro. It was quick, it was snappy. Have I added it? I'm adding it to my library. So I'm going to give it a... Out of Sight, I'm going to give it a 7.5. It's not my favourite song. It's not my favourite album intro. However, I think it's quick enough. I think it's the right amount of length. The beat's okay. I'm going to talk about beat selection in a minute. I like Second Nature. It was a good song. I'm going to give it an 8. Now this, Third Time Lucky, is one of my favourite AJ Tracey songs of all time, actually. I've got a lot of favourite AJ Tracey songs, but this, it's just raw and emotional. The piano is amazing. So that's a straight 10. However, Third Time Lucky and the next song are right next to each other. And I like the song that's at the end now, because I've listened to the end. But I feel like Third Time Lucky would have been a really good outro. It's just amazing. But I don't mind where it is now. But I was thinking when I was listening to the album, it's kind of like, it sounds like the song that Central C made for his outro for Can't Rush Greatness. Sounds kind of like that. I really like it. My favourite. Right. I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I'm not a big fan on this song. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I'm not a big fan on the beat, but I like the flows. I like the back-to-back flows, so I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm so sorry. It's just not for me. Chat rooms. I wasn't a big fan on this. I didn't like the beat. I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't know. I feel like most of the beats on this album sounded quite similar, and I know that obviously most of AJ's beats sound similar on an album, but he knows how to change it up a bit. It changes towards the middle part of the album, which is good. I really like Talking Stage. I'm so happy Nems is on this album. It was amazing. I think the features on this album go hard, not gonna lie. I will talk about features in a minute. I feel like there was the right amount of features. I think I'll tell you my overall thoughts about features at the end though, but this was good. This was my favourite. This was another favourite. This was another favourite. I love the beat. It was amazing. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Not going to lie. The beat slaps. And the flows. I like this beat as well. Do you know what? It kind of reminded me of, like, you know the song Silly Watch? That sort of flow. So I like that beat. And I like the strings that were like being like chopped up for this beat. I don't know. I liked it. It was like very choppy. So if I do sniff, I've got terrible hay fever. But yeah, I think that was a good beat, and I like his flow. I'm gonna give it a 8. This was such a good song. It was like an old school grime beat, and the more I listen to it, the more I love it even more. I'm giving it a 10. The flows on this, they sampled. I don't know what the song was called, but Naughty Boy and Wiley did a sample of it. Something Old Town or something like that. It's such a good sample. I love when people use a sample and when you use it right. It was just amazing. It was like similar to the Crush beat, but it just was way better. Now, I heard this yesterday and I really liked it. It kind of sounded like old school AJ Tracey. Even the beats on this, most of them did sound like that. And the song before, the one I told you about, Paid in Full, most of the flows and stuff, it kind of sounded like Red Bull from the front. That's what these two sound like. So I'm gonna give this one an 8. I really like this one. I like Joga Bonito. It's very relaxed and calm. I did made a Harry Potter reference, so you know how to add that to my library. I'm giving that an 8.5 out of 10. Right, I wasn't a big fan on this one. I think it was the sample. It was a bit too loud and overpowering. The beat was good. I'm going to give it a 6. I'll talk about that imposter syndrome in a minute. When I mean the beat was good, but I'm still giving it a 6. The beat, I like the chords and stuff. I just didn't like the sample. Imposter syndrome, again, the beat, I wasn't a big fan on it, and yeah, I don't know, it just wasn't for me, but I like the flows, and I think it might be one that will grow on me, but for now I'm going to give it a 6. Here's the one that I didn't think I was going to like. Now, I started to listen to this one, and to me, it sounded like a radio song. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. And then I got further in, and guys, it is a good song. It's not like a typical AJ Tracey song, but it's really good, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Overall thoughts on the album. I think where features goes, Skepta would have been such a good feature on one of the songs. But however, I like the rest of the features. Heady One, I mean, he's alright. I used to really like him. He's not really my favourite rapper anymore. Like, not my favourite rapper. He never was, but I did like him. But I don't know. He was good on Friday Prayer. Just wasn't a big fan on the beat. In terms of beat selection, some of the beats sounded the same at the start of the album, and I was like, it's going to be a recurring beat. And I thought it was going to be like Captain Conan's album, where all of their beats sounded the same. I didn't like any of their albums, to be honest. I haven't had any of it on my playlist. You know what, AJ Tracey? I had high hopes for this album, and did he succeed the high hopes? Yes, he did. The songs were good. Beat selection, I think at the start wasn't great. In my opinion, I think all of them sounded similar. But as we got into the album, it changed up, and it was good. It was amazing, and I think it's better than Flu Game. I actually have the vinyl of Flu Game, but to be honest, that wasn't my favourite album. There are some songs on it that I did like, but it wasn't my favourite. But this, I'm definitely gonna have to get. I'm probably gonna get the vinyl of this. I'm starting to collect vinyls now. I used to have them up on I have a keyboard, and my cat would knock them down, so I'm gonna put them up on my shelf. And if you guys want me to do a vinyl collection once I collect enough vinyls, then I will. Last thoughts, so this is definitely going to be bumped in the summer, and overall album score, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I know most of the songs on there weren't my favourite, well not most, I'd say like 30% of the songs on there weren't my favourite, but I think this album is going to be bumped a lot in the summer. Do you agree? If you do, like, comment, share and subscribe, and tell me what your favourite song was. I think mine is definitely the one with Big Zoo in it and Third Time Lucky. When I heard that on YouTube for the first time, I was just amazed. Piano, the production, everything. But that's it from me, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay vigilant. I'm stealing Topical Juice's outro, my bad. But it's good for AJ. He hasn't fallen off ever, even though there's been times where he hasn't produced anything or made any music. He's still managed to stay relevant, and I think it's through connecting with audiences. He's very fan orientated. He uses TikTok, Instagram, and he comes to events and gives to charities. And out of all the rappers in the UK, he's definitely one of the most wholesome, alongside Dave. There's meant to be a Dave album. Oh, and guys, there is a new Little Checker album, Dopamine. If you want me to do a reaction to that, then I will. If you want me to do that this Sunday, I might do a poll of it. But if you've watched this far, comment down below. I definitely want to react to Dopamine, because I'm getting into Little Checker recently, and that song, Dark Thought. Anyway, I need to go because I'm rambling, but take care, guys. Stay safe. See you soon.